Today is 11/22/18, Thanksgiving, and by the way, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I have a couple hours before I need to be anywhere, so I thought I'd stop at the shop. I have a couple chains that are broken, and the customer needs them first thing tomorrow morning, so I thought, well, I'll get these done today. So as you can see, if I can bring this in closer, that the latch has been pulled apart, and it's been pulled apart so far that it's too dangerous to reshape it and reuse it. It would be risky. I don't want a customer to lose his chain, especially a couple $100 or more. So the best thing to do is just to replace it. So Lord and behold, I have a new latch for it. It's a little different, but the customer liked it better because it's a little easier to grip, he thinks. So this is a new one, and what I'll do is cut the jump ring here and take this one out, take the latch off, and I'll go ahead and put a new one on, and the customer is ready to go again. So with that, let me get set up and I'll be back. Okay, I'm set up. We'll try it from here. First thing we do is we take the chain and we take it to the ultrasonic cleaning tank, since this is all gold and has no stones in it. So we'll clean it with an ammonia cleaning base and make sure all the oils and all the stuff that catches inside the chain and areas of the chain are clean. The last thing you want to do is have the chain catch on fire with lotions or whatever and burn the chain, and it can do that, and then you will have some problems. Anyway, we will go ahead and first thing after we cleaned it, I'm going to just cut this old ring off of here. I guess. Alright. I don't need that, so we'll just put it in the scrap here for the time being. I don't need that. Now, the next thing we want to do is take the new clasp, and it's already got a nice jump ring on it, and it's soldered. Okay, next thing I want to do is put the probably should use tweezers. I just whatever I got in handy. Okay, I split the jump ring and make sure it's closed up. And the next thing I want to do is I want to cover this chain in a boric acid solution. It's called a fire coat. It's also a flux. I use it for fire coat. It's got alcohol in it with just plain boric acid. I buy a high grade of boric acid because I also use it to cast with. You can use that 20T mule borax, boraxium I think they call it, but I prefer to use pure borax. For me it works better. Alright, I'm going to take my torch here. Since that's got alcohol on that, I'm going to burn that a little bit. Catch it on fire. Alright, now we got that done. So the next thing we want to do is find our jump ring split. Need a pair of tweezers. Alright. Everybody following so far? Okay, I've got the little clamp on. Let's see if we can get a little better picture of this. Okay, I'm going to use, this is 14 karat yellow gold paste solder rather than using a hard solder. So I'm just going to squirt a little piece out. This is a titanium pick, and it will allow the gold when I heat it up and ball it, it will let me touch it onto this pick, and then I can guide the gold wherever I want it, the gold solder. So we'll do that next. Okay, I think you can see it. Okay, I'm going to just gently, one on, one off, one on, one off. I got the torch fling hitting the jump ring right in the joint, and I'm getting it hot. Okay, now my ball of gold is stuck to it, and I alternate into the flame and out of the flame, into the flame and out of the flame. Alright, that's done. So we'll throw that in the pickle saucer, clean it up a little bit. I don't like to polish chain. I have done it and got away with it okay, but the first thing you're going to find out when you polish chain is it's going to wrap around your buffing wheel, and it's going to tear the chain all to pieces, and then you can buy the customer a new chain. So I try to refrain from doing that. And you can see where I made the solder joint. Shot it right here, and it's a complete joint. Okay, so we'll throw this in the cleaner, and we'll buff up around that little link a little bit, and we'll give it a little spit polish, and this customer's ring's done. So there's a little flux on this right here, so we'll get that all cleaned off. So I'll be back in just a minute, and we'll do a little bit of cleanup, and we'll be finished. The jump ring has been touched up a little bit, and it has been a good solder joint. So this chain is ready to go back to the customer. We'll package it up and get it ready to go. So I have one more chain here I thought I'd try and show you. It's a link that needs to be soldered, and it's done a little bit different than this one is done. So we'll start with that in just a minute as soon as I set it up. Thanks for watching. Okay, here's the new chain, and as you can see right there, it's broken. So what we'll do is we'll take one end of the chain and we'll cut the link open, slide it through, and then solder that link back together. This is a very tiny chain, so it'll be pretty hard to do without ending up with two joints soldered together. And sometimes that happens, and depending on how it looks, sometimes you can leave it, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to cut it loose again and redo the whole thing. So I once again use a paste solder to solder these. I use a very unique light torch, and I made this myself. This bottom torch right here, I cut that tube off, this tube right there, and resoldered it back into this torch bottom with the valves, and I modified the top a little bit so I could use these little tips. And you can see just how fine that tip can get, and I can get it a lot finer, especially for real delicate jobs. And one of those jobs that I did here not too long ago was right there. And those beads are so tiny. I took 2 links out. I think they're right up here yet. I think they look like this. I'm sorry. I'm not good with the camera yet. Those 2 links right there. I took those 2 links out and then resoldered the chain back together. It was a bracelet for a young gal, and her sister had passed away, and she wanted that bracelet shortened for her, and that's when you get just a little nervous, you know. These balls are so tiny that I mean, you just look wrong, and you've melted a whole chunk of link right out of it. But anyway, we got that done, and I wish I would have had that chain. I'd like to have showed that to you. I did a unique way of doing it, but we'll get into that some other day maybe. This one chain here is all cleaned. I use an ammonia cleaning base, and I make my own cleaner. I guess I could make a video and show you how I make it. It works on about 85% of all the jewelry, maybe 75. I'm kind of guessing. It doesn't. I can't use ultrasonic when I'm using gemstones like an emerald stone or something like that, because those are usually enhanced and they have an oil base inside of them, and the ultrasonic can knock that out of there, and it'll ruin the emerald. You'd have to, if it was a big emerald, you'd have to send it to a company and have them re-enhance it. For those, I use a steam machine to clean the jewelry, necklaces, pendants, all that are solid gold or 14 karat, 18 karat gold. I can use the cleaner with, and opals you have to stay away from the ultrasonic. I think people have done it, but I don't, because I just don't want to have to replace an opal stone. It takes a lot of time to recut one, grind it, polish it up, and then get it back into the mount. So better off to steam clean it if you have a steam cleaner. I don't like toothpaste. Don't use toothpaste when you're cleaning. Not a good deal. I'm going to show you. I think the best way to do it is make a batch up if people want to see it, and I'll show you how to make a good cleaner that you can use with a little scrub brush, and get most of the jewelry that you have cleaned up nice and neat. So let me get the torch ready to go, and this link, little links right here. Oops. And what I use is a surgeon's blade. And I use that to cut the link because they're so tiny. And once I get the link cut, then I can affix it to the broken part of the chain, and we can solder it back together. Caution: if you decide you can get these through the jewelry catalog. I'm sure. Caution on these: the blades are extremely brittle. They will snap and could probably fly on your face, or maybe even hit you in the eye or something. So you want to be real careful with what you do with these surgeon blades, because they are deadly sharp. I also use them to cut molds, rubber molds, for when I'm making a jewelry duplicate, and maybe I'll even get into that later on. So, but anyway, that's probably enough on surgeon blades. I buy the blades by the box because I go through them pretty easy. So what I'll do next is I'll get this ready to go for soldering, and I've already cut that link, as you can see right there, and I'll get it ready to go, and then we'll solder it, and this chain will be done. Sorry about that, tongue-tied. I was going to tell you one thing else, but I think I forgot. Oh, do be sure you clean your chains in advance. If you're just a beginner or you're just learning how to do your own jewelry work, any of that grease or stuff from necklaces, boy, it'll just scorch the living daylights out of that ring. So with that, I'll go ahead and get this thing ready to go, and we'll do a little quick solder job. I'm not sure if I got that camera close enough or not. Alright, my torch tip is adjusted just about right. It might be a smidge too hot. A smidge, I think I should have said. And there's a little ball of paste solder on my pick, my solder pick. And I sharpened the pick to a sharper point before I did this, so I could try and get in there and get this. Now I've already fluxed the chain with boric acid. The paste solder has a flux on it, so it'll flow. So we're all ready to go, and the boric acid is to help keep the chain from tarnishing when we heat it. This is 14 karat gold, and it is super thin and super small. The link is just about closed off, so we'll just go ahead and I'm working both the tip and the solder at the same time. The top of the chain. Oops, melted it. It's a little too hot. Okay, we're just okay. Guess what? This is. I think this is a hollow chain. Bummer. Okay, we got to cut it and start again. I'm going to reduce the heat on this thing just a little bit. Just a little too hot. So I'll be back in just a second. You know, without a cameraman to help you, this is really a difficult situation. Alright, it's right here. So we still have to come up, down. I think that's where we want to be, if I haven't lost it. Alright. Links tied together. And we're going to come in there. And it's soldered, I think. And that's how that's done. I don't know if we got this on camera or not. You can see that it's now soldered. It actually soldered the two links together, so there is the two links actually soldered together rather than just soldering the one link. Too small to do it. I thought I could, but it was easier just to solder the two links together. So we'll have to take this and clean this up a little bit, because I see it turned just a little brown on us, even though I had the flux on it, the fire coating. So I'll use a little piece of sandpaper and clean that up, and we'll clean the chain again to get all the flux off of it, and then this customer is ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed these two videos on chain soldering, or well, it'll be one video, two chain solders. I'm sorry I don't have another person to help hold the camera. I do have it on a tripod, but boy, it is really hard to figure out where you're at with this thing. So, but I'm having a lot of fun, and this was kind of a really touchy little job to do. So, but we got it done, and I'm ready to head out and get some turkey. So you guys have a nice day. As always, thanks for watching, and you have a great holiday weekend.